Welcome. My name is Barney Reese. I am the author of How Blessed You Are in God's Promises. Today I want to talk to you more about the concepts of the universe. Everybody is going to have a bad day or good day. It's how you perceive it is how the day is going to end. This is why I always recommend when you wake up, you get excited like a small child because you got one more day. You got 84,500 seconds. If you started breaking those seconds down in the milliseconds, you could do so much more. You can do forms in the morning if you're in martial arts. You could do some exercise before you got out of bed really good. You could do a lot of other things besides sit there and mope and say, oh man, I just woke up. Some of you are going through terminal illness and you're wondering, how can I overcome this? You are made of 30 trillion cells or more, according to science. You have a mind which is 15 supercomputers. You have a heart that's a magnetic field, which is the most powerful thing of you, and it's the last thing that stops before your energy leaves this body and goes back home. You call it whatever you will. I'm going to call it home. For you that think that you are going to be put into a despair and all this other crazy nonsense that these people have come up with ideas of how evil people are, that may not be the truth. Instead, just like a small child, you would be spoiled or you'd be separated or isolated from everybody until you could ponder your thoughts, until you figured out what was best. Remember, you are the spark of God. You are part of this universe as the universe is part of you. And this is your universe. You can't go live in somebody else's universe. In other words, you can't go climb in somebody else's body and claim it as your avatar. Some of you may be handicapped. Some of you may be disabled. Some of you may not ever do nothing but use your mind. Use it. Whatever avatar you got it for a reason. You have to accept that this is a learning experience. This is one of the hardest schools you'll ever get to because it's hard to get your energy to the top of your head and beyond. Thus is where your power comes from, is within. This is what they don't want you to know. This is what they will keep from you. Some of you pray every day. Are you praying as though you know, or praying as though a beggar? If you're praying as a beggar, you will beg for the rest of your life. If you pray it as though you know, you will be sending out positive results. And whatever you send the universe, it sends back to you. Some of you send love every day. But what are you loving? Are you loving the world? Are you loving your life? Are you loving your job? Are you loving your friends? Are you just sending love? For you that say love doesn't exist, I'm here to tell you it does. And just like the Grinch, I was the Grinch. So I understand about love more than anybody does because I had to focus so hard to get it to come back from the dead. I was a dead man walking for over 7 years. No feelings whatsoever, not even for my own son. I had lost my wife and daughter within a 7-year period. It put me in, and that means death, okay? Not just divorce. Divorce, you see them. Death, you don't. I still don't look at my pictures of my wife, and I loved her dearly because I known her when she was younger, and I was 17 and she was 13, and I would not date her. And I went on into the military, and I came back a couple years later, and I saw her exactly 10 years later, and she was such a bad state. She was an alcoholic. She was a prescribed drug addict. She was everything that nobody wanted, but I could still see that little girl that I once knew. I wanted to save her. It nearly killed me to try to save somebody. I sent her to rehab after rehab after rehab, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand about addiction. I didn't understand about alcoholism. I didn't understand what I was trying to do. I had just given my life to Jesus, that's what I thought, but what really had happened is I had released the energy from my cells. It had come to the top of my head finally after so much trauma that I had been in for so many years, and it felt like a euphoria. And a lot of people, that's what they feel salvation is. Salvation is when you get Christ-like consciousness and you focus on all the good you can do in the world. Salvation is when you do good for others and you have nothing in return for it. Salvation is so much more than you think. It's just acknowledging God, whatever you wish to call it, or the universe, or the cosmos. I would call it the cosmos because there's multiple universes according to near-death experiences, which I've studied quite a few. I lost count of how many. I highly recommend you do the same. Listen to the ones not about Jesus and Yeshua. Listen to the ones that are talking about the Creator and what it looked like and what it was and what it felt like and how it loved you so conditionally. This is your true Creator. Now, some of you think that I'm crazy. Fine, leave. Some of you will stay and listen to everything I say. That's entirely up to you. I only do these videos to make you the best version of you. Now, for you that are focusing on loving, what are you loving? Do you love your dog? Do you love this? This is why I focus on it, because I couldn't feel nothing for so long. And even though I'm alone, and I don't know who's coming into my life, I know one day they will, because I believe that the cosmos is always helping me, and she's out there, whoever she may be. And I don't know what color, what creed, what anything. I just know that she's out there, because in a meditation, I want to share this with you. I was meditating, and in meditation, I had went a long ways, and I had seen myself on the top of a cliff overlooking the sea. And I was writing a book, another book. I had written many books, and I was also doing podcasts and things like that. And I felt this energy come into the room. She says, "Honey, I'm home. I just got through shopping." And what really got me was she literally, whoever this person, I never saw her face, never saw what she looked like, but I felt this love that I hadn't felt so much in so long. And it resonated so much with me that I literally wept like a small child for the love that I felt. This is what I crave. And I hope everybody finds this in their life. That love was so powerful. It resonated the room. She didn't care about the stuff that she had bought. She was so happy to see me for one more hour, one more day, one more second. That love was so powerful. This is the love that you want to focus on. This is the love you're able to send out to the universe if you choose to. This is the love you can send to others. This is something that nobody can take from you. Some do it better than others. Learn to be the yin and the yang. You can't be too nice. You can't be too mean. You've got to find that balance, that area that you're looking for in your life. My wife later died, but I tried everything in my power to help her. And what I learned, you cannot help somebody that don't want to help themselves. Somebody needs to hear this today. I don't know who you are. Some of you are crying about a divorce that you had 20 years ago. He divorced me. He left me. He did you a favor. I don't care if he left you with nothing. He did you a favor, or she did you a favor, because she wasn't resonating with you, and you are a cosmic spiritual vibration like being in a body, having an experience. You can do anything. You can see anybody. You can be anything that you wish to be.